For your tapping in today, I'm fresh faced. I did not put my makeup on today. I think I might do it while I'm on camera, or I might just not do the makeup altogether. I think I might just do a little light, you know, bearing. But today we're going to be speaking about. Let's put on our waist trainer, back support, back support. Today we're going to be talking about. I think it's day 360 something. No, it can't be because the year's not over yet. It might be. I skipped a few days. All right. So today we're going to talk about what did I starting something new after something ends. And what I've learned in starting something new, it's a lot harder than people give it credit, right? Meaning when you're ready to start something new, meaning like, okay, you're at this new juncture in life where it's like, okay, it's time to let go of your old friends, your old patterns, your old sleep habits. Time for you to start waking up at a different time, connecting to different resources. Different people are your like bread and butter. Meaning, like, for instance, the transition between even college, where it's like you used to rely on mommy and daddy, to be your points of reference, but then like kind of your RA, right, becomes your new point of reference. So you're no longer like calling mommy and daddy for everything. It's like when I went to the hospital when I was in college, my RA was the one that was there and present to kind of hand me off to the ambulance to make sure I was going to be okay and come back home. And they checked back in with me when I got back from the hospital to make sure everything was okay. Sorry, my sinus is a little tight. Okay, that's better. Okay, there we go. But that was my point of reference. It's my RA. It wasn't my mom and my dad anymore, or. So when you're trying to start a new juncture in life, it's like you have to figure out who your bread and butter people are. Like, who are you starting your day with? Who are the people that you're going to lock in and plug in for the morning time, right? Because there was a point in time where I would plug in with my mom because that was the first person I talked to in the morning, my grandmother. But then as I got older and as things shifted and changed, as I had a kid and I got emancipated and went through college, all these different things, lived with different people, moved around, and even recently went through my homelessness. Like, homelessness was the most humbling one. The new juncture started, right? Because I no longer was starting my day with my family because my family was the ones that kicked me out, right? I wanted it to still be my grandmother, my sister, but even when I went over there, taking a shower was uncomfortable. So before you know it, it became this guy that was like, I guess I was dating. And this is the part where I have to like now give the other perspective to the story. Because from my perspective, oh, he's a bitch, he's an asshole, he's a piece of shit, right? But then I have to look at it from another side. He didn't have to answer the phone. He didn't even have to offer me any of the things he did offer me. Access to him, his house, his home, his family, his shower, whatever. Now, of course, eventually I got my things together. What's up, Dean's? Dean's not coming back. Oh, okay. Now, regardless of all these things, I still look at it as like I eventually figured out how to go to the shower at the gym and stuff like that. So I wasn't really worried about, oh my God, like I don't have this, I don't have that. Cause like I was able to go to the gym eventually, like after I figured out a way around it because everyone was just making me feel uncomfortable about using their resources. And I just had a moment in the bathroom just like a few moments ago, like with me speaking out loud to my mom, like she wasn't here, but just speaking to her as if she was just in spirit. And I was like, a lot of the times when I was growing up, you made me feel uncomfortable about asking for help. You made me feel like asking you for help was like so belittling. Like, see, of course you always are going to need me for help. To think that you could actually be independent and on your own was the most foolish thing that you could ever thought of. And just knowing that that kind of energy exudes from her, it just makes me feel like, one, it pains me to ask anyone for help, right? But then more importantly, it makes me not want to trust that when somebody is helping me, that they're doing it from their heart. So it makes me have a wedge in my spirit about that person. So when it comes to the last person that helped me, like I said, he didn't have to let me take a shower at his house. No, he didn't have to let me do anything. He didn't have to expose me to anything he exposed me to. But I'm looking at him like, well, you have a platform, assist me. And he's like, well, I don't have to give you access to my platform. You have to work for that. And there's two things that I can perceive from that situation. One, he didn't want to necessarily let people know or let me have access to his people, because it's like, okay, if I was going to come around doing hair at that particular time, the only things that I could talk about would be homelessness, et cetera, et cetera. And with the fact that he was actually kind of like, I don't know, digging me, dating me, liking me, whatever he called himself doing, it would have been embarrassing for him because he had an ego. And oh, well, you sleeping with the homeless girl? Ugh, like, how the fuck you gonna sleep with her? All these badass bitches out here, you can't get a better joint. So I'm starting to see from a different perspective based on me being able to really analyze life and look back at things like, yeah, for him, probably, being a person of his status, his stature, being a known household name, and it's like, you risking it all for a girl that's going through what? But the weird thing was, I was, at the time I had money. I just got out of a car accident. So it's like, but it's like I wasn't doing the best thing. Like I realize now looking back, I could have took that money that I was spending on him and on whatever else, because I was still working the whole entire time, working for Grubhub and DoorDash as well. I could have took all that money instead of buying him lunch and buying myself lunch and worrying about my son needing food stamps and stuff for snacks. I could have just took that money and invested it into a salon plaza. And I wouldn't even have been homeless. I could, because the home salon plazas, you can have a key to it. It's 24 hours a day. You can go whenever you want to. I could have been sleeping in my booth and still building my business up. You know, I didn't have to take a whole year's break and then look at him like, because I would have had a place also to do hair. So every time somebody needed their hair done, I'm like, oh, come to my salon plaza, come to my booth. Da 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 da. I'm here working right here. Woo 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 woo. And things could have just planned out that way. But I was so focused on what was going on and being emotionally triggered by the situation that I wasn't making the most intelligent decisions at the time because I was in it. And it's always hard. Like I heard, what's the name? Tony Robinson's, he says it on the commercial on YouTube. He says, if you need neurosurgery, it's hard for you to do it on yourself because you're in there. You need someone else to help you. And knowing that this person, I mean, I would assume that they would want it the best for me, right? But they wasn't going to do, and nobody's ever going to do more for you than you do for yourself. Especially when they got their whole entire life on the line and they got things that they trying to get done, right? So when trying to start a new juncture, a new venture, trying to figure out new people, new places to really start your day off with and start your ignited fire off with, knowing that, like, I go to the gym, I didn't necessarily need to tap in with this person. I just wake up, go to the gym. It was just a natural thing for me because I knew I had to take a shower. So I'm like, okay, I got to take my shower, so I'm going to go to the gym. So I work out, I go do my little workout, I go to the gym, I see the people there, I tap in with them. And then he called. What's going on? Where you going? What you doing? Come, okay, come through. Come to my house. And I would always get drained when I come to his house. I'm like, why does it always feel so draining coming to your house after doing something for me? And that's when I started to understand the concept of why people don't necessarily add everyone into their situation. Because like when you really got something going for yourself and you found out your piece, your thing that makes you tick every morning. Like I knew every morning I had to get up and go to the gym and then go take my shower. I have my system set, so letting him into my algorithm, even though he helped me get to that point, it still was draining because it's like, okay, I'm starting my own thing. Adding you in is draining. And it wasn't that it was his fault because I now understand his situation, what he had going on around him, because everybody has a life. And life, unfortunately, as we get older, we start to realize when we no longer can rely on mommy and daddy, how much life is actually taxing us individually as grown adults. Meaning, you gonna feel every bit of life. You gonna understand why your shoulders hurt. You gonna understand why your back hurt. You gonna understand why this hurts. You gonna understand because it's you going through it. You gonna see who's attached to what. You gonna realize how many people in your neighborhood are connected to you. You gonna realize how heavy it really is the burden to carry certain stuff on your shoulders as an adult. And you're not gonna have nobody else to just take on that L for you or take on that weight for you. And you shouldn't expect nobody else to do it for you either. Of course, it's human nature to see somebody going through something and to help them out. But we've been so dissociated from human nature based on politics and things that we're continuing to allow to, you know, convolute our whole entire existence, that we don't even treat humans how humans are supposed to be treated anymore. We treat humans like objects, like articles of clothing. You know, we treat people like clothing. I don't understand how or why, but that's what humans do. Like, people look at you as a person and see what's your strong points, and they'll wear you like an outfit. And I think that's the weirdest shit, but that's what America has reduced humanity down to. Oh my God. What's up, girly? Oh, nothing much. So when it comes down to it, I finally started to understand. I'm like, okay, so basically what's going on in my life is I'm learning how to start something brand new people. It's no longer mommy and daddy. It's no longer the people that I live next to. Like, cause when I was homeless, I slept outside next to a waterfall every day, right? But there were people who came past the waterfall every day. Sometimes the same people every morning, and they would want to be my point of reference. But it's like I never felt comfortable with them being the ones that I trusted with how I felt for the day. You know, like helping me regulate my emotions. So I would always still end up right back at his house because it was a familiar point. And it's kind of how it is when you get to be an adult. You still, as much as you want to dissociate yourself from your parents, you still check in on them like, okay, is all this weight that I'm carrying bothering them? And then you realize, oh shoot, they living happy because they ain't got to carry me no more. Oh my gosh, because they figured out their own shit. So then you start realizing, oh my God, this is what they talked about when they said life is going to be a bunch of sacrifices and things that you, hold on. Life is about a bunch of sacrifices that you got to make for yourself, that you really got to like learn to carry your own burdens. What religion are you? I was raised as a Catholic. I currently now I don't really practice any particular religion. I just practice the idea or the knowing that God is everywhere. I don't have to go to a church to find him. I know that God is in me and God is in every single thing around me. And it's a life is a consistent lesson at all points in time. Like, you're gonna wake up in the morning and realize God is being taught to you through your neighbors. God is being taught to you through the people outside that you got to cross when you in traffic, whether you're driving fast or slow. Um, God is everything. Yeah, I used to practice a lot of Buddhism, and I still do incorporate a lot of Buddhism into my everyday. Like, every morning I used to wake up, and I would go like, you know, "Lam, lam, lam." Excuse me, and stabilize my root chakra and so on and so forth. You know, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, and so on and so forth till I get all the way to the top. So I would do all that every single rising at my other apartment. I lived on the top floor, 3-bedroom apartment, lived with my brother and my son. Some of the most peaceful years of my life. I've never had so much peace in my life, y'all. I wish I could rewind time and go back to that apartment and that day and that moment in life and just never leave. Again, starting a new venture at a new juncture, though, you realize you can't go back and you can't rewind time. Now, me as a person who is kind of like, I don't want to say a time traveler, but a person who's very aware of what I was doing at all points in times, I can revisit a moment and re-feel the vibration or the feeling from that moment. I think all of us as humans have that ability. We just don't tap into it as much as we possibly can. You know, that, ooh, I remember back when I used to live over there when I was 5 years old. What would 5-year-old Sierra feel like right now? And you bring that energy back to yourself and you live in that. Or what would 7-year-old Marcel do, you know, for my son, for his energy? How did he used to feel? What was that energy? What was 10-year-old Marcel like? You know, 11-year-old Marcel. You know, what was 20-year-old Sierra like? You know, call on your own energy sometimes. And this is what I've learned to do to help me start new junctures. Yes, I'm going back to the past to start something new, but I've realized I have to rely more so on myself. right? My own energy and what I was doing at those points in time. So what made me feel secure and safe at those times? So like what friends did I have? What jobs was I working? What organizations was I associated with? I mean to full. So again, when starting new junctures or moving to new neighborhoods or starting new jobs, it's Malaysian Buddhist. Oh, that's funny. I was just watching a video about that. Malaysian Buddhism. I mean to a full. Also, they have what's the other one? Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Like, there's so many different chants that you can really chant to really like rebalance your energy when you're feeling off, where you don't have to rely on somebody else to stabilize your mood. But people get so confused because they're so used to being codependent. People don't realize how codependent they are until you're really asked to stop depending on other things outside of you and really look inside of yourself and see what you have, what tools you have, what rituals you have in the morning to really stabilize yourself so that you're not feeling like you're relying on anyone for your stability. And when someone pulls the rug from underneath your feet, they can't laugh at you when you don't have them to support you, right? Hmm. So again, for me, I just personally always did those chants, and they kept me safe, sounded, and grounded. So I'm starting a new venture, and I'm back here. It's no need to wish, just manifest it. Become the best, and whatever the best is in your eyes is what the best is, and then you'll have that manifested, right? So reminding myself that I was never here to impress anybody but me. So the more that I live in that, the less I have to worry about anybody else's outside opinions. So it's all about me. I don't really care what anybody else feels about how I am or operate. I appreciate the positive feedback, but it's not for me to care, right? So when starting this new venture now of realizing like, oh shoot, I got to be accountable for the fact that I had $7,000. I could have took my $7,000 and bought myself a salons plaza and even paid up the rent for like 3 months. You know, 2468, 2468. I could have took $2,000 and invested in having a salon plaza for 2 months and seen how that would have worked out, and then tried that out for 2 months. No problem, talk to you later. And then when I saw, thank you, baby. And then seeing if that job was still going to work, then decide to invest in the next venture if that didn't work. Right. And then even when that started to do whatever it did, I could have even got salon workers to work in my salon. I could have started renting out my salon booth to other people and being like, hey, y'all, if you need to do hair anywhere, I got this salon plaza I don't use. You can just be here. You can rent this out. You can do hair here. All these different things that I could have did with $7,000, right? But I was so focused on trying to help somebody else out, not realizing they were not caring about helping me out. They were sitting here to make me look at me. It was supposed to be a mirror of like, okay, well, if he don't care about you, do you care about you? Because if you care about you, then you gonna sit here and stop dealing with this shit and move forward. And I finally did, but it wasn't until after the money was gone. So starting a new ventures comes with the acceptance of that. Like, okay, well, I didn't start caring until after the money was gone because I was so worried about somebody else. And the lesson was not to say fuck him, but to stop caring about anybody else but me, more than myself or my son. And when I learned that it was more so about the lesson than the person, I'm able to forgive their actions because they probably were just being told by the universe, the program, the system, whatever, higher power to just be that person at that point in time to teach me a lesson. and me to them as well. Like, if I don't want to be out here like that, then I don't need to be out here like that. Like, if I don't want to be seen as a thought, then I'm not gonna be out here doing thotty shit. If I don't want to be seen as the fucking asshole or butt worker for a company, I'm not gonna allow a company to run through my shit. And if I start seeing that they doing it, I'm gonna stop that shit. I'm not gonna just be like, oh, it is what it is, and just give in. I'm gonna be like, nah, we don't do that over here. I wasn't raised to do that. My mama, nah. My aunties and my grandmas, my abuelas, all them, nah, we don't even rock like that. Nah. Nah. It's big on the nah for me, homie. And just living that idea and that knowingness that, hey, sometimes we make mistakes, but we can always, come back from them. A mistake is just a misstep. And when you miss a step, you don't have to really worry about anything but yourself, right? All you got to do is worry about, what step do I take next? Like, what's my next, the next baby step's going to be like, right? You just look at it from that standpoint. Like, what's the next step going to be? Because I could sit here and dwell on the fact that I fucked up and broke my ankle on stage, or I could put the cast on and start to move forward. And that's what life is all about. You'll learn that, okay, shit, everybody's watching me perform and I fucking broke my leg in front of everybody and they're laughing. What's up, John? But then you'll realize, like, oh shit, well, fuck them laughing at me. I don't care. I still gotta put my cast on to let my leg heal, regardless of how much they laugh. So let me hurry up and put this cast on and get the healing. Shoot, I might have to laugh at me too. Like, replay that. How did I fall again? Show me. Damn, that shit was funny. I did look crazy. How the hell did I fall like that? I ain't never doing that again. You know? And when you learn to have that kind of outlook on life, it'll just make things a little bit more digestible. Whatever it is, whichever stage in life it is, whether it's a rebirth, a ego death, uh, a relationship ending, whatever it is, you'll learn that life is all about change. That's the only thing that's constant. So stop getting comfortable with situations and realize, okay, that timeline's done. Okay, that storyline's done. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, that person don't want to answer the phone for me no more. Okay, bet. Okay, that person can't no longer be a shoulder to cry on. Okay, bet. Whose shoulder do I cry on? My own shoulder? I can't cry on nobody's shoulder but my own? All right, bet. So either I stop crying or I learn to cry to myself and just cry in the shower so that nobody else knows. Like, because the therapist is just going to tell you what you already know. They're just going to give you an outside scoop of what you already know. 9 times out of 10, what they want to tell you, you already know. You don't really need that person to confirm or deny anything. You already know what you know. You don't need that lady, that man. It'll help for some people. Some people do need that little extra bit of reassurance. Like, oh my God, I can't go on without someone else's perspective. So for those, that's why they're there, for those people. But for most of us, we don't really need someone else's perspective. We just being big babies about it. And the closer you get to that understanding that you really didn't need anyone to tell you what you needed to just pay attention to, I finally realized, like, damn, how do you have a changed timeline? It's like I said, an ended relationship. Like, you can't live like how you used to live. Like, okay, if you dated a man who was a millionaire and now you don't date him and you don't have access to his bank account, you're on a different timeline now where you no longer have access to a millionaire's bank account. So what is life going to look like when you're not dating a millionaire no more? It's a different timeline. Like, it's a different time of life. Like, you're not there no more. You're not in that space no more. So it's time to start to create a new way of living, a new life. That life of yours has died and gone to shit. It's time for you to get a new boat. It's time to build a new boat, build a new car, buy a new house, whatever. And if you don't have the money to do so first, figure out how to build something from the ground up. So the tools and behaviors have to change. Yeah. So whatever I learned with the first dude that I dated, where I started to understand the spiritual aspect of a relationship, I'm no longer running around like a Hot Wheels mobile. Like, that's not what I do. I don't vroom, like, I don't move like that, because that was never me. I was never like doing that. I learned how to do it, and then I was taught that even at my job that was a way of being, but that was never how my natural being was. I was never naturally that being. I was always a natural nurturer. I stood in place and held space for things to slow down for people. I slowed shit down for people who are moving too fast. That's the space that I hold as a woman. I'm not no fucking robotic coochie electrician. Like, no, I have a vibe to me for sure. I have a frequency to me, sure, but my job was never to be your fucking go gadget pussy. Like, no, go gadget fast pussy. Like, go gadget destructive pussy. Like, go gadget suck a soul coochie. Go gadget vacuum coochie. Those were never my capabilities naturally growing up. Okay, but I'm wondering if I'm getting pulled back into addictive behaviors, when can I see timelines have changed? Chill with the cake up. Don't talk about natural when you hate how you look naturally. I'm not even putting that much makeup on. Like, if you just saw the beginning of the video to now, it was barely anything on my face. Like, anyway, we're talking about, and that's another thing. As a man, if you are a man, to tell somebody, because I'm going out to go make content, I want to look like one of the best versions of myself. Like, you're a man, right? You don't have to work out. You don't have to do push-ups. And I'm about to get back into you in a second. Um, you don't have to do push-ups to make your pecs look good, but you want your pecs to look good because when you go and you swim and you take your shirt off when you're about to slay your girl and you about to get up in some cheeks, you want to look good. You don't want to look like you got a beer belly hanging over your stomach. Some people get, well, I get waxes. I don't like it when my ass crack is hairy. I think that's gross. Also, I think it's for hygiene purposes because if I'm taking a dump and I'm like, I don't have wipes and I'm taking a dump and I got hair in the crack of my ass, I think that's really nasty. So for me, personally, I prefer a wax. For you as a man, you might personally prefer to do push-ups because you like when your chest looks strong instead of caved in. I'm just saying. Makeup is just a thing that we do to like highlight our best features. That's all. It's not that we don't like how we look. It's just, oh, it's cute. Like as a kid, you're even taught to like play in makeup. Like you just, it's something we do as girls. It's just you add colors into, it's a form of art. I mean, our ancestors used to walk around with freaking white dots on the top of their eyebrows and around their noses and lines and stripes across their faces as tribal war signs to let you know I don't fuck around and this is where my energy hitting at. So come at me if you want to, and I'm gonna directly smack you right in your face. Or just to let you know and to indicate where I'm gonna align with you at in your face line. So you see where I got my lines at? And it just make you think to your face, like to yourself, and then you inhabit and take on that characteristic of their face. I got a mole right here in the middle of my forehead naturally, so I'm all bucks like. Then my constellation right here, so it's like I'm coming out the subconscious eye to know, like, so you know where I'm going to hit you at, and so you know how to when I'm in your face, where I'm at with it. That's really what makeup is all about. This has nothing to do with hating yourself. It's just a way to identify yourself, to appreciate yourself, to naturally highlight what you have going on, and just genuinely like love on you. And just it's just decoration, bruh. You don't get a house and not decorate it. Simple as that. So when it comes to bouncing back into addictive behaviors, and you're trying to get onto a new timeline, you have to be cognizant of the fact that behavior is toxic to you. If you know that smoking is bad and you don't want to smoke no more, you got to be conscious enough of yourself to say, all right, you know what, I ain't even gonna hold you. I know this is not good for me. I'm not gonna do this no more. That's the part where being an adult plays a big part in your growth. Because you can't sit here and say you want to be grown, but you still got to rely on mommy and daddy. You didn't smoke that weed, did you? Do I need to put a hold on your account so you can't pull out money to smoke weed? You said you wanted to save up money for this, that, and the third, but you still smoking that weed now. You need your girlfriend to tell you, babe, I know you're not smoking weed. I thought you said you were trying to save up money to go ahead and buy a house and you wanted to start your business. I know you ain't still smoking that weed. If you still need somebody to do all those things for you, no bueno. Now, if you know that that's just your weak point in life and you have a mate that wants to help you in that space, different. If you have a best friend that wants to help you in that space, Different, you know? If you have a best friend that's like, oh, you ain't smoked today, right? All right. You said you about to go smoke. Come on. We about to go work out right now. Come on. Every time you want to pick up a J, go ahead and do some push-ups. Like if you don't have somebody in your corner like that, and that's what you need, there's nothing wrong with that. Know your weak points. But as a person who really don't need too much, or a person who's worried, get you an accountability coach, get you a therapist, get you a friend, get you a relative, something, if that's what you need. Or just in your mind have enough discipline in yourself to say, oh no, I know I'm about to start trying to smoke that weed. Let me go ahead and just go ahead and do some push-ups. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna give myself 50 push-ups or I'm gonna just do push-ups until I feel like I don't want to smoke no more. I'm gonna just take my own breath away. Like I'm gonna make my own self breathless. I don't need no weed to do it for me. I'm gonna make my own self feel like I'm gasping for air through this workout. And then I'm also gonna get positive results and good cardio from it. It's a self-discipline thing. Full moon is coming soon. Is there anything special to do to make the most of it? Yeah, whatever you want to release, write it down on a piece of paper, and on a full moon, make sure you burn that shit under the full moon. Anything you don't want it to have a part of your life no more, write it on a piece of paper and burn that shit under the full moon. Burn it. Burn it. Oh, isn't that witchcraft when that spell work? Look, religion is also spell work and witchcraft, okay? Every single practice of spirituality is religion and witchcraft. It's which craft did you decide to pick up? Which craft? The craft of Christianity, the craft of Buddhism, the craft of Islam. It's all a craft and a way to give homage to spirit and ancestors and energy that came before your existence to show you are humble and a servant of the universe. All of it is. So during your full moon practice, whatever you decide to do to give homage to your ancestors is your business. Now, nobody should be coming up in your house telling you how to move. If you coming up in my house and you don't like what the fuck I'm doing, then turn your ass around and turn your third eye at something else and watch something else. Don't watch me, watch TV. Now, if you're interested and you curious, pay attention. But if you don't like what the fuck I'm doing, you have the right to go ahead and mind your motherfucking business. Okay? All right. So, if you feel like somebody's a demonic person and they doing dark shit, you just turn the other way. You just stop looking at them. If y'all don't like what I'm talking about on my channel, y'all have the right to leave. There's nothing wrong with that. But during the full moon, it's just a point of release. For women, for men, it's just for you to release. So if you want to release, do that release. Okay? Release and enjoy the release. Sit there. Some people will do sex magic under a full moon. And the orgasm is the releasing the energy. They're paying energy homage to the universe. However you want to get down is what you want to do and get down on your full moon ritual. Some people go into the forest and eat chocolate around a fire and make incantations, because cacao was known to be healing back in the day, because dark chocolate is actually really good for your heart. So, whatever you decide to do on your full moon ritual is your business. But what I'm going to tell you to do is it's a point to release always. For every single culture, full moon is known to help you release. So, release whatever is holding you back from being the best version of yourself. So if that's a relationship, burn that shit on a piece of paper. If it's a parent, write the name down and burn it under the full moon. That's it. It's just that simple. If it's an emotion of anxiety, write down, I want to release anxiety. I release anxiety in this timeline at all times, in all realms, stuff like that. I release any connections to entities that do not serve my highest good from all realms, timelines, people, places, and things that do not serve me from all realities, times, and timelines. Like, really just release whatever you want to release. Like, I'm releasing connections to anything that don't serve my highest good from all my chakras, from all my energy points. I'm releasing anything that's not for my son's highest good, from all his chakras, from all his energy points. I'm releasing anything that's not good for my soul, my son's soul, or the evolution of our souls. So help me God. If it's not good, let it go. If it's not here to help me get better and bigger, let it go. And you just say those things to the universe, and the universe will listen. Like, oh shit, I know I'm not good for her. Let me stay away from her. It's going to feel convicted in itself. People, places, things. Everybody's going to feel, Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed, and we all in the same bedroom anyways. So if we know we're not good for each other, we just gotta stay away from each other. If we know we really are good for each other, we just don't want to do the work, and both of us are stubborn, then that's a whole other thing too. But you know, it's a level of maturity that has to happen before people can get to that point. A lot of the times in most relationships, well, you'll realize like, damn, we were actually the best thing for each other, but we just was both stubborn as fuck. Well, now that we know that, we probably should just stay away from each other and just learn from each other from a distance. I gotta love you. Like, I can see you, I hear you, but I can't be around you because something in your spirit and my energy, like, we both irritate each other's demons, but we are the best activator to realize the demons in each other. And that's a level of maturity that most people can't get to when it comes to releasing relationships and people, places, and things. Like, I released the demons that my mom bring up in me, which is what I discussed this morning. It's like, as much as I want to call you and ask you for help, you always make me feel shitty about asking you for help. So I really don't want to call you and ask you for help. But even though I really need the help, I don't want to call you and ask you because the way you've made me feel about asking you for help makes me feel like shit. But then releasing that made me realize, oh shoot, I might do that to some people who need help from me, making them feel bad about asking me for help. I might make them feel like shit. Oh shit, I'm my mother's child. You have to sit down with yourself and really talk to yourself when it comes to starting new timelines and new things, because you have to come to terms with who you are and what's going on in you so that you can be the best version of you for the environment. Because when I finally realized, like, the things that I can't stand about my mom is really what is the problem with me, and that's the case for most people. Things that you can't stand about other people is what's wrong with you. Like, I used to be so mad at this girl, Shayna. I'm like, oh my God, she never gave me credit for the fact that I helped her with her platform. She never gave me credit for the fact that I was helping her, assisting her, and being there for her, and being like pretty much a lackey and like a baseline, you know. Like, she checking in with me every morning before we go live, and I didn't even realize now that I know she was plugging in with me before she going live, getting all her confidence and stuff from me and my folks, and that's crazy. She not giving me no credit. All of that shit that I had to say, right? I now realize somebody can say that about me too. And when you finally realize, again, everything that you hate about somebody, and she even had said this statement once. She's like, everything that you hate about somebody else is what's really wrong with you. She had said that back when we was doing lives. So being able to be in tune with who I am, I can still give homage and pay credit to that as well. They're like, oh shit, she was right. People are literally ahead of their time a lot of the times in your life. But when you have to start a new timeline, sometimes you can't go back because those energies don't really want to see you get up with them. And they will literally be over top of you, blocking your exit out of calamity if you keep on going back to the timeline where someone disempowers you. Because that energy is felt, and people are like, oh, you felt like that? Ugh. Let me get away from you. Ugh, you ain't as confident as I thought you was. It's not that I'm not confident. I'm just able to really be who I am. I can speak on what really happened and just be cool with it. Like, most people will not tell you about these parts of life. Well, that really makes a lot of sense. Yeah, most people aren't going to be accountable for the fact that they had to go to a point where they had to be humbled. Most people are like, I'm confident and I'm the shit, and yeah, I've always been this way, and no one ever could humble me. And it's like, no. I know people help me, and I can give them their credit. My Lord, preach and teach the people, Euphoria. No, I mean, just seriously, like, even Smiley, when it comes to how me and Smiley met, we met at a video shoot. Did you see that the video has been on StockX? Like, the song Wait a Minute is now, they got a sponsorship deal with StockX, so it's on the StockX commercial. So we literally did a whole entire music video together, and people like, oh, well, ain't video girls all nasty hoes? It's like, girl, did you not just see how she said praise the Lord and teach the people? Like, everybody that's in the video ain't out here just trying to shake booty and be the next hoochie and get noticed off of being a freak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learn to really break down people's perceptions and things of people or of you, even when you learn to break out of the mold. I agree with what you're saying in that I'm proud in the same people as in the same people as before, but now that my timeline shifted, I can't relate to them anymore. Yeah, it's like the timeline shifted. So like for me, being being in connection with that individual, doing the music back then, I was able to really tap into my singing voice and everything else and really like focus on me, but I wasn't. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I was looking on like YouTube commercials sometimes come up and like a StockX commercial comes up and then wait a minute. Dun 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 dun. I'm like, oh shit, our song is up there. Like, I mean not our song, but oh my god, I was in a bit like, you know. But knowing that you connect your womb was created and connected to greatness, but you're not like, oh my god, yeah, y'all, I'm about to be on. Like, no, it's just wow, that really happened. I can now acknowledge that those people who mirrored my shadow part cannot go on into the future timeline with me. Right. And that's what I was saying. Like, okay, so when you have that moment of sitting down with yourself and you're like, okay, so that was a shadow version of me. As much as I don't want to let it go and I love it, and I also want to be mad at it because it brought out a bad part of me, it's like I got to acknowledge it and still thank it because it's like, oh, I understand. And you got to like, then you got to just maneuver. It's like, okay. Like, I want to be mad at that boy so bad. I'm like, oh my God, you sat here, had me distracted for 9 months, and I spent all my money on you in this stupid ass relationship, and all I got from it was my car battery dying, and issue with my alignment, and my back is hurting sometimes, and I can't stop thinking about your stupid ass, and I'm mad at you, and you cheated on me, and you was having and doing this all around town, and it was like, hold on, but if you was as balanced and as disciplined as you say you was, you would have just took your money and just got this Salon Plaza and said, fuck that nigga from Jump Street. Excuse me. You would have just said, fuck him back then. Right. It was my choice. Well, no, I was kind of forced into it because my mom forced me to be homeless. But me not being a self-aware, because if I was self-aware, I would have been able to be like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to be here with you. I'm supposed to go get my Salon Plaza and do what my friend told me. Because my friend who literally was renting at the Salon Plaza, the actual suite that I'm about to move into, she was like, yeah, you know, somebody that I know, they was sleeping in a Salon Plaza because they ain't had nowhere else to go. They was homeless, but they was trapping that motherfucker out and they got their life together. She said that years ago. Her mother lived in the same apartment building I'm living in right now. I was supposed to have did that for 7 months and then moved into this apartment building and been like set. Instead, I ended up working in freaking Kensington at a crossroads, connecting to a whole bunch of people that wasn't good for me, was trying to drain me. But it taught me a lot about the dark side of energy. So now I know about what people are doing on the dark end of energy. You know, I understand that they're like literally learning how to siphon energy by twirling their energy in circles. And I learned about the mysticism of life that can seem to be demonic, but it's just simply just dark energy, dark feminine energy, shadow energy. I learned what no one was willing to teach me. I learned what you can only learn through living through it. Right? Things you can only learn by actually being in it. Things you can only learn by surviving it. See, I learned my level of survival in a fucking realm of the underworld. Okay, that shit was like going to the underworld and re-emerging from the underworld back into the regular world. That's what that shit felt like. Going down into the pits of hell and somehow surviving and making it back out. But after passing that level of survival, you kind of can't go back to feeling like a weak ass pussy no more. You like, bitch, you know what I've been through? Like, please, this is child's play. I know after 25 times of sitting here dying with you, I'm still gonna wake up tomorrow and be absolutely fine. So, bitch, please carry on. You learn to just look at people with the stone cold Steve Austin face, like, bitch, are you done playing with me or what? Because I might get a little bit in my chest, but okay, let's move on. I learned that people contradict what they say to you in private and act differently in public. Yes, it says it took me 2 years, but I developed much higher levels of awareness. Right. It's like people will sit here and tell you all day, oh, I'm a good neighbor. I'm a good Samaritan. I ain't gonna hold you. There's still times where I'm looking at my neighbor like, bitch, get out my energy. I'm not trying to. No, I don't feel like dealing with you right now. Move. Even though I'm a good person, I just genuinely have like emotional battery drainage. And it's like, okay, I'm done dealing with my emotions, and I don't feel like dealing with yours right now. Like you just like locking in with you just felt like I just died. Like I literally just saw my face get sunken in and tired from dealing with you. Can you please roll the fuck out of my face and out of my energy? Like, ugh. Like I'm a good person and I want to help in the community, but it's points in times where I'm like, I don't want to deal with you. Like, leave me the fuck alone. But in my awareness and understanding that the observer has to be observed and the observee has to have an observer, I understand that it is a needed aspect of life. She must be my observer. I must observe her because we have to both have something. The concept of if the tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Is what goes on with that. And the more that I'm learning to sit in that is the more I'm learning to kind of just deal with it, even though it still is draining to deal with. Right? It's like, okay. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Mm. And just learning, like, it's literally energies out here that will fight for with me and all that good stuff. But learning that people who practice certain shit, they just, it's better to have them on your team than against you. Learning when and how to choose and pick your battles, who to war with. You know what I felt really crazy when I was able to fully aware of how I fit into someone else's narcissistic perspective. You know what? Okay, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. You know what felt really crazy when I was able to fully be aware, when I was able to be fully aware of how I fit into someone else's narcissistic perspective. Yeah. And I think that's what I'm going through now. Is like I'm kind of now understanding why that dude I was dating was mad at me. He's like, "Girl, do you understand what the fuck demons you fighting every day?" I fight demons, but I learned to just fuck my demons into submission. You haven't learned how to do that yet. So, dealing with your demons because you still fighting them and not trying to give them everything that they're gonna come to get from you regardless is hard to fight this battle with you because you haven't learned to fuck them into submission, meaning giving them what they want and getting them addicted and then taking it away from them and making them like need you for it. it's a it's an art that the Jezebel has mastered and that most men have mastered. That's why they call them narcissists. Cause like I'm gonna give you everything that you want. I'm gonna make you feel like, yeah, like you need me. Like this is crack. This is cocaine. This is fentanyl. Cause if you take too much of this shit, your ass is gonna die, bitch. And I don't give a fuck about it. Learning to have that perspective about people and your business, it sounds crazy, but it is the exact way that the world is perpetuated now, since money is more important than morals. Meaning, I'm gonna make you feel like, yeah, you the number one stud. I'm gonna give you the best energy and interaction with me. You're gonna get all pieces and portions of me. But I know how to take that shit back and not give a fuck about you because I care more about my stability and my security, my safety, and what I got going on. So it's fuck you. But if you want to fuck again, I don't mind. and then not feel nothing about it. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I realized like that's his like, look, I fuck my demons. I don't care. Can't nobody, everybody gonna love me because I'm gonna seduce them into submission. I don't care. Like I know who I am. Like the world gonna love me. That's how all that's the celebrity protocol. Like I'm gonna seduce you into the point where you're gonna love me because I'm gonna make your coochie or your wee wee feel so pleasured that you can't hate me because I know exactly how to make your whole world, like I know how to make your toes curl better than anybody else that you'll ever meet. So you're never gonna hate me. And even when you find the audacity or the strength to hate me, once you finally realize what I've done to you, you're still gonna want to succumb to me because I did I made you come to me. And that's the whole entire perspective of that aspect of that individual. And once I finally understood what that was, I'm like, oh, that's how businesses ran. So, you get seduced into, like, for instance, my clients, because I was never spiritually aware, right? When I was doing hair, they loved the energy that I exuded because I would just hold space and just be talking to them and just like carrying on, laughing with them, giving them like the best friend that they wish they could have ever had. Let them just be in my space. They was just having fun. It was never no boundaries because I wasn't even thinking about anything. Like I was never thinking that someone had to be a person I had to have boundaries with. So I'm just sitting there laughing, kikiing with them. So they built bonds with me, long-term, deep bonds. Then I started picking up on like certain people would just start being like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna walk her ass like a hoe, treat her ass like a hoe, beat them up like a." And I'm like, hold on. So you think that you fucking me for free? Like I'm a hoe? Like I don't know what's going on? Oh no. And it made me self-conscious about me being able to hold space for people, right? I started being self-conscious about what I was doing. I'm like, oh my God, they're like judging me for holding space. And okay, I got to do this thing where I like close off my space to everybody and like cut everybody out. Like, oh my God, this is not good. That's not good. That's not good. No, that's not good. I don't like that. And the more and more that I finally understood the methods of the narcissistic person, I started understanding why people, I really want you to be live now, and you are. So thank you. Oh, alive. Okay. Appreciate you, of course. I'm not dying no time soon. Death is a choice. Okay, unless you get shot. And even still, it's a choice. You choose if you want to wake up on that hospital bed while they're taking that bullet out of you. So, with that all being said, once I finally understood the tactics of the narcissists and the weirdos, I'm like, oh, so it's a spiral where you learn to like collect energy. Like, okay, well, what if I say no? What if I learn that the answer was always no? And I start to shake you off of me. And now all those body pains I was feeling associated with your body, I don't have to feel it anymore. Because I finally realized where it's coming from. What if I learned that how I feel is way more important than how you feel? Not because I'm a narcissist, but because if I want to survive, I got to care more about me. And then that's what the narcissist, that's when they start to have their shit crumble. Because it's like, I really don't care how you feel anymore. But you are very like, oh, you always talking about me. And it's like, no. My birthday, it passed a few days ago. It was on the 22nd, 11/22. So I've just learned now in this space, like, okay, I'm accountable to, like, for instance, like I said, my mother is like, oh, I don't like you because you make me feel like shit about getting help. But then I realized that's what people don't like about me, because I make them feel like the fact that even a girl, like, okay, so what, you did help me with my platform, and like, okay, I'm still making money, and what you doing? If you were such a big help, then where's your money at? I focus so much of my energy and attention on you. Right. So focus on yourself. And then when I finally realized that that was the key, it's like, oh yeah, spotlight on me. Okay, so what do you offer? Okay, so when it comes to me, with the spotlight on me, I offer a space where I'm making breath work, meditation music. I'm offering the ability to get your hair done, have a whole entire experience, get your makeup done even. Like I might start doing people's makeup after I do their hair. Like high key, just how do you realign all those parts of you? It's hard work. I do it every day. Like it's just sometimes you gotta reincorporate things. Like I call back my confidence that I lost in my last relationship. Then I literally feel like my energy in my solar plexus just feels like it's renewed. Like I just call it back. I call back my heart that I lost and the love that I lost in that toxic relationship with that person who I had no business talking to. Then I feel my whole entire heart just come back. Like, oh my God, my heart feels like it's renewed. I call back my ability to be sovereign from my neighbors. Like I don't want these people connected to me. Like whatever claw they have on me, remove that claw, remove that clamp. I don't want it. And I'll feel that release up off me, like, that nastiness, that heaviness on my shoulders is not mine to carry. Like that's not mine. Anybody that's holding your shoulders down, they're not good for you. So whatever phantom that is, remove that shit. I call back my sacral chakra from my last relationship as well. Like all my sexual energy that I let leak out of me that I gave to that person to power up their life, I call that back. And I call back all my son's energy to him. Any energy that he leaked in all of my relationships, any energy that he leaks to my neighbors, any energy that he's leaking to his friends, family, whatever, I call his energy back to him. And then you just immediately just feel restored and renewed. And it's like, oh my God, that's what was going on the whole entire time. I was just like letting shit just slide, like just letting things leak out of me, like thinking about people who was not thinking about me, like oh my God, oh my God. And then literally realizing like in a relationship, like that's what the persons was saying. Like they was like, you care about people who don't care about you. Nobody cares about you that much. I'm like, oh, and I was thinking like he was trying to say to humble me, which he kind of was, but it's like, no, nobody really cares about you that much. It's about how much you care about you. Like how much do you care about you? I care about me a whole lot. So I don't need to get empty and project that shit onto somebody else to make me feel whole. Right? I just feel whole because I just feel whole. Like I like how I look. I like how I smell. I like where I live. And I want to work hard as fuck to make sure I protect that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like even right now, I know I owe a little bit more money on my rent. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to protect that shit. So, your girl might have to make some shit shake. But it ain't nothing I wasn't already prepared to do at some point in time in my life. Like, I'd rather make sure me and my son have a home. I'd rather someone judge me for what I got to do to keep my house together than to me lose my house again based on me caring about somebody else's perspective. Because that's how I lost my house the first time, caring about somebody else, caring about my brother's feelings and emotions, caring about my mother's feelings and emotions more than I cared about my own. So when you're starting a new timeline, it's for you to stop caring about anybody else's feelings about how you feel, right? It's time for you to get spatially aware and be like, oh, you're the problem, not the solution. When it is justified to be angry at someone and not just look at it as a mere lesson. When they damage you, like when I got actually choked out and strangled and literally blood was coming out of my neck, I was justified at truly being angry at that person. When that person had access to me and took my food and threw it on the floor so that I couldn't feed myself or my son and took actual jabs at my actual survival and my actual physical reality, that's when you are justified to be mad. So don't get me wrong, I'm still pissed the fuck off at this person. Like, oh my God, like the way that you acted was just trifling as fuck because I didn't treat you like that. I never took your property and threw it out my window. I never took, even living here, I never took your stuff and threw it out my house. I never did that shit. I was just like, look, I'm gonna call the police and let you get home. Because yeah, now I got my own place and you don't have to be here. Okay? You don't have to be here. The police can come and make sure that you're never here ever again. You understand what I'm saying? Like I have my own space. Y'all just moved houses today and I have my own room now. Congratulations. Thank you, Lorraine. Is your neck okay? My neck is great. It healed. But yeah, just learning like, okay, so I don't have to let you or any system dictate what I do. Like, even if I call the police to come get you out of here, like the issue is we're still connected spiritually. So it's like, okay, well then I gotta remove you off the top of me. Like I gotta take your brain off the top, disconnect the cord in the back, right? And then realize, okay, I'm holding on to how you feel because I'm allowing that connection to still exist. Like the heat that I feel in my shoulders from this pain being connected, I don't have to feel that, right? But realizing again, you can love someone from a distance. I still have love for the person because it's like I get it. We all have a story. We all have a lifeline or lifetime of traumas and things that we've dealt with that have caused us to make decisions to react to people certain kinds of ways. Like I said, the way that my mother used to make me feel like shit for asking for help is the reason why I don't realize it, but I make people feel like shit for asking me for help. Right? So I don't realize it, but the same way I feel about her is actually the same way people feel about me because she raised me to be a bitch. But you have to sometimes be a bitch in this world in order to protect yourself. Because if you keep on letting people think that they can just ask you for help any kind of way all the time, you become a fucking doormat. You become somebody's cum rag. Literally. I'm speaking from experience. You become somebody's cum rag. You keep letting somebody just ask you for help, like, oh, can I, and you realize, oh damn, I'm out $7,000, and okay, I need my cell phone bill paid, and they looking at me like, okay, can I get my dick sucked? And it's like, oh, I see what went on here. Oh, oh, you were using me. But you want the word to look like I was using you, but I was never using you because you knew I had money and I could have made my life better. Had you not been there to distract me and call me that day, I probably would have got my salon plaza. I just was so distracted on helping you because I'm so looking at myself in the situation versus looking at myself. Right, it's the patterns that you have with your own parents where you forget to look at yourself. It's like, oh, my issues, I keep forgetting to look at myself. I keep wanting to reflect on you, but it's like, what was I doing the whole time? Not paying attention to me. I wasn't paying attention to me. I didn't get that salon plaza. I didn't take my money and invest it in me. I didn't take that money and keep a little 2,000 to the side to make sure. I went down to Alabama and let that person scam me out of 1,500 because I was so pressed to move to a home. I was so pressed to get custody of my son back. I was so pressed to hurry up and move away. I was so pressed to run away from home that I sat here and ran into the captivity of the wrong person. I take accountability for that. But as a person who's having their kids taken away from them, forced to reflect on things. And I finally realized the reason it happened was because as I was getting myself together, and this is what this is a lesson for the other person to realize too. This is why we can't really disconnect fully. We still got to be telepathically connected. But the issue was when you were supposed to be building yourself up, someone had custody of your kid. So now all you want is custody of your kid, thinking like that's going to make you a parent. But being a parent is being able to provide a environment for that kid to thrive in. And I was so focused on telling that to the person instead of doing that for myself. I'm like, yeah, you need to be focused on getting your own apartment so that, you know, if you do need to stun on this girlfriend of yours that you're leaving, like you at least could pull up and have your own car and have your own place and be like, I'm about to take our daughter to my apartment. Like, I want custody for the weekend. Like, you can file for joint custody and get her on weekends. And I'm so here trying to help him build it because I understand where he's coming from instead of like, okay, well, you got that to deal with, but I also got to build my own sanctuary for my son to come to. I'm trying to run down to Alabama and run out of state and hurry up and do it. I got scammed out of $1,500. I still had another $3,000 left after that. But it just was like, you start looking at it like, damn, like, I was so pressed on worry about you. Then as soon as I came back, the day I came back, he like, where was you at? Where was you at? You was where? Huh? Come on. Nah, get over here. Come take a shower at my house. Yeah, be over here. But the whole time, I don't want to be with you. Fuck you. I'm like, well, wait. I'm confused because it's like, you told me to come over here. Why you keep treating me like shit? And I didn't realize it's because he was trying to, people benefit from your failures. When you stop focusing on you, you make them the main character of your story. When the story's always been about you and your life. I'm the main character in my story because despite me being homeless and all these other things, I still had people from all over trying to pull me into their stuff, and somehow, some way, they still can't pull me down. They still can't pull me into their bullshit. They still can't cause me to drown. They still can't cause me to fail. I still made it into an apartment. I still got my son. Yes, I'm struggling with my rent right now. Yes, my rent is cheap. But even with somebody, I do hair for a living. The person came to get their hair done, they still haven't even paid me full price for their hair. So that doesn't highlight my insecurities and my instabilities. That highlights, why is that person not paying you full price for something they asked you to do? Now you're looking at the people like, hold on, it's not me. It's them. Because why aren't they paying me full price for their services? If they know that my rent is this, and that's like me. If I go to get my lip pierced and I know the price is $35 and it's a $10 service fee for him traveling to me, and he get here and I only try to pay him $35, and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna pay you the $10 on the back end. He has the right to call the police and be like, nah, I'm not leaving here until you give my money. I'm a traveling stylist. This is my business. Yes, this is the agreement. So you can file a civil claim and you can go to court about it. It's just $10. It's the principle of you wasting my time and having me come over here and do this for you, and you not paying me my full price and my money, and you wasting my time. That's the concept. That's the principle that people be forgetting. People just want to swear up and down that it's something that's not. And it's like, no, it's you thinking that you had the right to be over top of me. And it's like, why the fuck did you do that? Like, why the fuck did you do that? Anyway, choose to be changed. Perfect word for the day. But we have the mind of Christ, the Messiah, and do hold the thoughts, feelings, and purposes of his heart. Corinthians 2:16. Do you get mad every time somebody tries to correct you or tell you what to do because you always have to be right? If you haven't answered yes, I'm sure that you are not a happy person. You cannot change others, but you can allow God to change you so that things don't bother you anymore. With Jesus Christ as your savior, you can learn how to live a different way. You can have peace, you can sleep well at night, you can like yourself, you can restore relationships that have been ruined. Your mind can be renewed like Jesus if you read his word and ask him to help you live the abundant life he came to give you. See John 10:10. So the message of the day is choose to be changed. So as much as I could say all these things about these people make me get mad all over again, it's like, I get it. You did it. You can't handle me in a upright position. You can't handle me at my best self. So you have to do things to attach yourselves to me in a negative fashion, because negative energy is chaos energy, and chaos energy is what y'all feed on y'all's side of the spectrum. So you have to have a chaotic relationship with me in order to make sure that your system still stays alive. Because if we get to peace and my system rises because there's so much peace in my body, it takes away your chaos's effect on me. So that's when you learn to have complete peace about a situation. And you realize, I don't have to deal with this no more. I don't have to live like this no more. Like for me, my son's like, oh, Thanksgiving come around this. I don't gotta do that no more. I did it this year. I really didn't want to, but I still did it anyways for him. And I'm starting to realize, no, I'm going to start telling you, no, we're going to start having Thanksgiving at our house, and people are going to start coming to us to get Thanksgiving, or we not seeing them motherfuckers. I don't. They gonna have to come visit us at the end of the day. They gonna have to find a car. How everybody did? Ain't nobody got a car. They gonna have to find a way to come visit you on the holidays. They found a way to get all the way out to West Bumblefuck to go to your cousin's house last year. Women thinking, oh yeah, I'm trying to help save my son from you. No, your son is saved by the grace he's connected to me. He need to go find somebody else to connect to. But instead of being angry, you just learn to be like, I understand who I am to most people in their life. I understand why they connect to my energy. I know that I can cut it off when I feel like I need to. And I'm going to respect the fact that God gave me the ability to be this kind of person for people. But when I'm tired, I'm cutting the fucking cord. And y'all got to just be okay with that, because I'm going to need a break sometimes. All right. I'm going to give y'all a quick read real quick, and I'm out of here because my son got to be to school at 8:15. I know his ass ain't awake. Matter of fact, no, I know better. I'm going to pull 3 cards and that's it. Somebody's enamored with your love or your energy. Somebody that was mentally unstable wants to be in a relationship and wants to manifest a relationship back with you. I got manifestation and relationship. And a mentally unstable card just popped up real quick. Let's see. 3 more cards and we out of here. Just to clarify what I just saw. A community wants to forge a new relationship with you. So some kind of community sees value in having a relationship with you now because of your divinity. Some people are still focused on the lust aspect of you, though, unfortunately. And last card is you are in your north node while others are in their south node. So you're going up and they're going down. Not because of any particular aspect, but you are divine and they want to destroy this. Somebody wants to destroy this with a commitment. Someone's going to offer you a commitment to destroy this. So beware, because people do realize that you have divine energy. A mature woman, specifically. But you have an achievement. And they're going to get karma. And it's going to be an ending for what they've been trying to do to you. Because people can see it. And as far as your question about the kundalini and the chill bumps, your chill bumps are just energy resonating, you know, just you finally coming into terms with, it's probably energies around you, you know, that are waiting to get access to you. And when you just breathe them in and connect with them, you get what is called just activation in general. It can be connected to your kundalini, but kundalini usually feels like fire rising in the body. But kundalini is multi-elemental, so sometimes you're focusing on the sturdiness and the structure of it. So the earth energy, right? Right, your earth energy getting into your own body, right? But then there's also the water, so the flow of like water feeling like it's flowing up and down your spine. Right? Then there's a fire that usually rises from the bottom to the top. That's usually the first thing that you experience with kundalini, fire. Right? And then the air aspect that you are breathing up and down. So make sure you've unlocked all 4 elements before you just assume it's one version of kundalini, because kundalini is multi-elemental, multi-dimensional, and multi-frequential. You can have a high frequency kundalini activation. You can have a low frequency kundalini activation. One can be related to lust and sex. The other ones can be related to just your energy pulsating up and down your spine. That's why they have the Kama Sutra, Tantra, and all these other things that are also engaged and considered to be parts and parts and portions of the Kundalini experience, which is just simply activating the awareness of your entire spinal cord. But keep your mind safe at all times, unless you feel safe in your environment. Okay? But it's up to you to feel safe in your environment, because once you activate your Kundalini, you become God mode. So, yeah, it's up to you. But I hope that you guys learned something from this message here today. Peace, love, and hair grease, and everything in between, of course. And remember, here on this platform, you are heard, seen, and loved. So, peace out, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at approximately 6:30. Yeah, just y'all remember to keep yourselves up, and remember, it's about you. But don't let nobody control your emotions, because you control your emotions. All right, peace. Oh, and remember, go stream my music on Apple Music. And don't forget, if you haven't already, make a purchase on my website. Help me pay my rent. Order you some capsules. All right. I plan on being I plan on selling these out all December. So make that dream come true. Order my Parasite Detox capsules, Golden Elimination. It has all of these wonderful herbs in it to help detox parasites out of your body. And for me, it also helps you kick the herpes virus's ass. I made it strong enough to kick the herpes virus because that's what I curated it for. But it kills and cures all parasites in the body. So yeah, just stay up and make an order. Bless your girl. And if you don't want to do that, order a hoodie, the Eternal Euphoria hoodies on my TikTok shop. You guys have a blessed day. Have a good one. International shipping, yes. I ship to all countries. Yes, I got you. And if you have any issues on the website and the link in the description of this video or the next video, feel free to message me directly on here or Instagram or any of my platforms, or email me directly if you have any ordering issues. Okay? I love you guys so much. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace, love, hair grease, and everything between. Remember, your body, your chakras. Don't be taking advantage.